It's been quite some time since Sucker Punch Productions last took Sly Cooper fans on a wild caper. Sly hasn't dipped his feet into next-gen water just yet, but the devs behind the Rascally Raccoon are looking to fill the gap sandbox style, with an electrifying new IP. inFAMOUS grounds players within the ravaged borders of Empire City, where a befuddled bike messenger named Cole awakens to mysterious powers after surviving a calamitous explosion that levels half the town. There are plenty of questions, but one thing is obvious. A gang called the Reapers is hell-bent on intensifying the chaos, and the city could definitely use a hero even if he isn't exactly a Boy Scout. This is where you come in. inFAMOUS charges players with changing the fate of Empire City by completing various missions scattered around town. Whether it's purging the city of contaminated water supplies, dealing with the latest incursion by the Reapers, or cleaning up the streets in general, Cole will be faced with a wide spread of scenarios that will test his ability and morality. There is an internal struggle between good and evil, manifesting as a system known as karma. Decisions that players make at specific points in the game will in turn affect Cole and the world around him. There are two ways to go. Acting as a steward of justice imbues you with public prestige and precise abilities that avoid collateral damage. Down and dirty methods will inspire more fear than love in the populace, but grant a grimy exterior and destructive powers that make Cole a fearful threat for his enemies. The bad guys come in all shapes and sizes, some packing powers of their own. You'll even come into contact with monstrosities such as lumbering golems made out of animated scrap metal. But no abomination, suicide bomber, or rifle-wielding grunt is a match for Cole's mastery over electricity. Rockets are repelled with swift blasts of static, and you'd be surprised how many different ways you can deliver electric shocks. With bullet-like jolts, bolt grenades, combat rolls, and explosive projectiles aplenty, combat in inFAMOUS feels close to a third-person shooter. But it's also clear that inFAMOUS is a platformer at heart. Every jutting edge, banister, rail, and pole is a target for you to cling to or slide across. And if Cole ever happens to run out of juice, you can get a boost from the many electrical sources around town. Suffice to say that you'll definitely have the power to accomplish your goals. With its imminent release on the horizon, this super-powered game is definitely starting to charge up a bit of hype. Be sure to bounce back to game trailers at the end of the month, when we'll decide if inFAMOUS truly makes a name for itself.